Welcome back, everyone, to the Graveyard Shift, where two idiots talk horror. I'm your host, Hayden, and I'm here with my co-host, Graham.
Today's topic is Halloween, the original Halloween.
The 1978 one.
Yes.
By the way, did you know that yesterday it was... hold on, I had this pulled up, because yesterday was the anniversary of when it came out.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be pre-recording this. Today is October 26th. So this will be coming out on Halloween night, right?
Yeah. This will become... Dude, I like that. If you look up Halloween on Google, you get bats. That's kind of cool.
We have ADHD, in case if you guys can't tell.
So, it is... I think it's like in the 40s. On
The 40s.
I'm doing my math in my head here. Let me get on. You have to restart this. 2024
One of these sites will get an
minus
intro right the first time.
1970. Wait, what did I say? 1978. 46. I was right. I was in the 40s.
Yeah.
So it is 46 years old. Did you know that?
Wow. Now,
And yesterday was the reunion. It was the anniversary of it.
yeah. I wonder if they'll do something for the 50th.
Maybe they
Yeah.
might. They might either do another one or they might put it out in theaters.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to go see this one in theaters.
Who
That
knows?
would
They
be
might do the popcorn buckets for it. They might give you a head, his head.
So one of the things I want to talk about is the music.
Sorry.
And definitely that theme song. Because in my opinion, yeah, there's a lot of good theme songs in movies. I mean, Star Wars
It's
has
the
theirs.
most recognizable.
But for horror, it's definitely the most recognizable. And there's not really, not a lot of horror has theme songs.
Depending on the ones you look at, because if
Yeah.
you look at some, hear me out. If you look at Freddy, his is the whole lullaby song, like one, two,
Yes,
Freddy's
yes.
coming. If you look at Friday the 13th, it's just more of him just doing the hee ha ha, whatever the shit is.
Yeah.
But
But Alien doesn't have one.
Alien doesn't have one. But Insidious does. And Insidious has
No,
one.
see, I haven't seen Insidious.
Okay, it has one recognizable one, but it's not used in the real movie.
Gotcha.
It's only used in the first one, which is the flocking to the tulip song.
Gotcha.
If you know what that is.
No.
Oh, dude, if you...
I know you want to show me Insidious at some point.
I do. I need to get him watching the series because I want to do a video on that series because I love that series.
But Saw has a really recognizable one.
That is true. It does.
But in my opinion, only Halloween and Saw have the biggest ones of the generic theme
Elm
songs.
Street has one. Elm Street has a big one. Come on.
The Freddy's Coming for You, yes. But I'm talking about just the no lyrics. Like how
Okay, the no lyrics, yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about the actual theme, like how Star Wars has the theme, Indiana Jones has the theme, Mission Impossible has the theme that have no lyrics.
Didn't Conjuring have, or did they not have one?
Not that I remember.
I'd have to watch The Conjuring again.
It's been a while since I've seen any of them, but as far as I remember, they don't have a universal theme.
Terrifier I would say, has one, but
the new one did.
The new one had
Terrifier Night, which I don't think either of us really talked about in the podcast.
No, but Terrifier, the third one has more music options than the first one did.
Yeah.
By the way, I did rewatch the second one, and I forgot about the costume store scene.
I thought that was in the first one. No, that was the second one.
I was gonna say,
that's the second one.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
Because I completely forgot about that scene.
Yeah,
Because of him with the eyes, just... I couldn't keep a straight face. This is why I like Art as a killer, because he is the silent type.
We're not talking about Art.
I know, but I'm going back to the previous video, and I want to explain why. I want to defend myself on this, because I know it sounds weird that I like his style of killing versus some of the others, is because he adds comedy to it, because he does the whole acting stupid.
I mean, but Michael Myers kind of does the same thing with the head tilt.
Yes, that is
when he
that's
kills.
the traditional serial killer look. Is you give a creepy look.
I wouldn't even say it's creepy. It's more he's admiring his
admiring his prey.
Yeah. Well, even his killing that he did.
Yeah. which you don't see in other ones. Like Jason never does that. Jason just stands there
Yeah,
and he would just basically grab you and lift you up.
yeah. But I mean, Michael always did the head tilt, which I'm gonna talk about, later on in the video.
Yeah,
But I really like the opening of this movie. Just the whole pumpkin glowing,
it
and
does tie into tradition of just the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. Like
well,
that's the
not only
most, well, that's the
that, but
most recognizable icon of Halloween.
yes, and I don't know if you picked up on it, but in the pumpkin, in the eye and the nose, you can kind of slightly tell it could be Michael holding a knife.
I'd have to really pay attention next time.
Yeah,
I don't think I, because
I heard that somewhere on
I'll
a
have to look.
video.
But here's another thing. You're more of a fan of Halloween than I am.
Yes,
Yeah. As much as I like the Halloween series, I'm more of Friday the 13th than you are, and you're more of Halloween than I am.
yes. I mean, I'm not a serial killer person to begin with. I don't really gravitate those to those movies. I mean, so I do like the Halloween franchise just a little bit more, especially some of the newer ones.
Probably
I
because I'm just questioning, is it because that you see the slasher a little bit less than you do in other ones?
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm going back to art here. So most of the movies tied around him, you see more of his point of view. But when you see Michael's in Halloween, you're more focused on the what's the
The
girl the
characters
characters.
inside
Then
the movie. So like this one really
this is more
shows.
spread out and more diverse than it is just
It could
hovering
be.
over one person.
It could be.
Okay.
Um, just for the simple fact that, like you don't really know what Michael's thinking and doing
Yeah.
half the time,
Yeah.
which is, kind of one of the things that kind of gives off this mystery of
Hmm.
this movie, especially this first one, because I mean this was like the beginning of the slasher franchise.
Yeah.
I mean there was other slashers before this movie.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but there
Not a
were
lot.
some. But this movie, what made that franchise and what that type of horror mainstream.
Okay.
And I would also kind of say slashers is one of the like biggest horror things, um, genres.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yes and no.
Okay.
But yes, I mostly do agree. A
Okay.
little bit, there's some fine details, but that's not worthy of
When
just
I say slashers, I'm talking about like, Art the Clown, that's a slasher franchise. Friday the 13th, that's a slasher.
Freddy,
Freddy,
Scream,
Scream,
Saw.
Saw. Like all that is slashers, and all that really is because of this movie.
Yeah, it is basically the one that introduced the whole fear factor too.
Yeah. And another thing for me, I don't really find slashers scary. Like, at least like the Halloween stuff.
I was gonna say, who's the one who kept covering their face or turning away
I'm
during?
not talking about Off the Clown. I'm talking about like actual,
Start the Clown. I've seen you do it in other movies too.
but not slasher movies.
No slasher movies, but I have seen you
Yeah,
turn.
not slashers. But like, I don't really find the whole a guy slowly moving towards me, like walking at a snail pace, all that scary. I mean, of course, if I was in that situation in real life,
I was
yes,
gonna,
I would
I
probably
was
be
gonna do
scared.
it. I need to bring up the haunted woods thing again.
Yes, I would probably be scared, and I would love that. But watching it doesn't really give me that adrenaline
All right.
that watching other movies will give.
You know, now that you mention that, I would like to bring up last night's experience that Kayla and I went through last
Yeah,
night.
because you guys went to the Hunt, which
Yeah,
I could
we
not
went to a
attend.
haunted. Yeah, which we don't have to say it right now. I can say that for the end.
Okay. Um, yeah, so definitely the beginning is really a kind.
What was that?
I have no clue.
It's like you just bit.
Iconic.
It sounds like you just bit your tongue.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I haven't said this before. I apologize for my coughing if I do cough. I am actually. I think it's from last night because there's a lot of fog machines going off, and I
gotcha.
think I've inhaled a lot of it. So I've been coughing nonstop this morning.
Oh, you're fine. Um, so what are your thoughts on the opening kill?
On the opening kill. If I remember correctly, he was killing his sister, right?
Yes. it's all from like his point of view, so like you
It's
don't see his face or anything till the end.
why he was outside, I don't get that part.
I
Um,
always took that as like he just got back from trick or treating.
I always thought that too, but you'd think he'd be out with either friends or with parents or his sister.
I mean, the 1970s were a different time.
Yeah,
Well,
you could go out and do more when you're young at
yeah,
that range. Because I missed being able to do that. Because now they have curfews, which is
yeah.
ridiculous.
I
But
mean, it was a different time period back then.
yeah, now you have to be more wary of people. Um, but I'd have to say it still ties in with the typical, oh, couples going upstairs to
Yeah. I
and
mean, that was only like they were only upstairs for a minute.
yeah, like I meant, like Jesus, dude, you got a problem.
Um,
His performance issues, I'd have to say.
jeez.
You know,
And maybe that's another thing I
one out of five men, dude.
and maybe that's another thing why I don't really kill for slashers is just because of all the sex and stuff.
That's the most iconic scene,
I
though.
know. But that's like I think maybe that's another thing that kind of turns me off from slashers.
Yeah. Plus,
You could see that with me.
usually with siblings, usually with siblings, if say you have an older sister, I
Yes.
don't. If you were younger around his age and your sister is around her age, wouldn't you think that your sister, if you were in his shoes, she would have like covered up or like shoved you out of your room, out of her room,
Or have the door closed.
or to have the
The
door
door
closed?
was wide open.
Yeah, you'd think that would be more of a
Yeah.
common thing. Like
Yeah.
usually siblings are more
It's fine.
okay. Usually mostly siblings are more of like get out of my room kind of deal.
Yeah.
There
Now,
was
oh, Michael, and just like barely covering
yeah, like
herself.
what the heck? Usually you see siblings they like get out of my room kind of deal. This was just like bizarre intro.
Yeah. And that's kind of another thing that, kind of with the parents later on in the scene,
Yeah.
after he kills,
How they find them and then they just
and they're
stand
like,
there staring at him.
well, not only that, they're like, Michael, like they question it. Like they're not like, why are you holding a knife? What is going on?
Yeah, there's like no emotion at all in that
Yeah.
scene.
And I mean, yes, it's, such a good opening scene, but does have its flaws for modern day
Yeah,
stuff.
because you expect more emotion.
Yeah.
Because you look at anything in the 1970s, say like I don't know, Greece. I'm not doing horror movies, but I'm saying like if you look at Greece or if you look at um, I think Breakfast Club was 70s or maybe 80s.
I can't
I think
remember.
it's 80s. But if you look at the intro scenes, they're more emotional. They're more eye-catching. Yes, this was eye-catching. Yes, this was more
Yeah.
somewhat emotional, but there was just no acting.
The only actor was the kid
Yeah, like
who,
no one was like. It's just like
I mean, and yes, that is a negative towards this film.
yeah.
And that's really the only negative I can say about this film.
He like there's more acting later on. It's just
Yes.
that whole intro was just nothing like drew you in except for his point of view. None
And
of
I
the
really
parents,
wonder,
not
like,
the sister.
why they did it like that.
Um,
Like, did they do multiple takes and that's the one that they decided was the best?
probably.
And so after that opening scene, we have a 15-year time jump. So I was trying to do the math in my head um, before this episode, before you even came over. Michael was 6 years old in the intro. So that means
He's
he,
awfully tall for a 6-year-old.
I know 6 years old, you are taller.
I'm gonna spend too much time on our camp when we were counselors.
Yeah, no, I know 6 years. I know 5 years you are taller.
I know, but if you remember when we were camp counselors, like there's 6-year-olds that are
Oh
like
yeah.
short.
Oh, I know. I have 4 year olds in my classroom who could pass off as a 2 year old because of how short they are.
I've just
So
apparently never seen a tall 5 or 6-year-old.
yeah, no, it's very much possible. So he would be 21 if I did my
He'd be 21 when he's a full grown man just doing this.
yeah. So 21 when he goes on his first killing spree.
He's one tall, buff 21.
That's what I was thinking. Like he looks like he's in his 30s or early 40s.
I'd have to agree with that.
But no, he's 21. I
Huh.
mean, if you're technically doing the math, he's 21.
That's surprising.
I mean, of course, he could be like a day away from, being 22.
True.
We don't know when his birthday
No.
is.
But another thing is, how the heck is he that tall and buff if he's in a medical institute? If he's in a
It just
loony
kind of
bin?
depends on what kind of institute that is.
He's in a loony bin. What do you
Well,
think?
yeah, but it just kind of it depends.
Unless there's a gym there, then he's just constantly working
Exactly.
out.
Exactly. Um, so then he escapes, and we meet Dr. Loomis.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Dr. Loomis?
His character's okay. His character's okay. Um, I'd say he needs to show more care towards his patients. Because
I
you
mean,
do see like all of them like dancing around, and he's like, "Why are you all out?" Instead, he just calls people like they're out. He's just saying they're out. Like, don't show emotions. Like, hey, go back inside. Come on. Or
but all of those his patients,
they might not be, but
yeah,
still try to
yeah.
corral them.
I mean, especially in the later scenes when he's talking about Michael,
It seems like he's more
like,
focused on Michael.
and he made that maybe his only patient.
That movie is only patient.
And I mean, to be fair, later on in the movies, he later on in the franchise, he has like a deep obsession with Michael. So Michael could be his
Well,
only patient.
some doctors or some psychologists are lured to certain people. So
Yeah,
if you ever seen like House, have you ever watched House?
some of those audio seasons,
So
yes.
House is drawn to strange cases of like
Yeah,
something doesn't explain to me how this is working or how this is happening.
and that's exactly true with Loomis.
Yeah. So he has that characteristic.
But so like later on, like he just says, Michael is just evil.
Yeah,
There's
he's just
nothing in there besides pure evil.
mm-hmm.
And they often he has multiple names, right?
Yeah, he's got
He
the
has
shape,
Shape
the
and then the
boogeyman,
Boogeyman.
and then there was another one.
Do you remember?
Nope.
Okay, because I don't.
I know there's another one though.
I always remember those two, the Shape and the Boogeyman. Those are
I
two.
could have sworn there was another one like later movie. I might be thinking of a later
Yeah,
movie.
maybe a Leo movie, but in this one,
Yeah, we're only talking about the first one though, the
yeah,
1978 one.
in this one, it's really more commonly. He's more commonly referred to as the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
And I want to say something. I'm going to go off of those story, which I'm not going to give them the full story because I want to save it for this movie. But my very first horror movie, like proper horror movie, was the Boogeyman 2.
That was your very first one.
My proper one.
How do you mean by prop?
Like, I'm not counting Scooby Doo Zombie Island,
Oh,
Hocus Pocus,
okay.
Castle. Like,
That's what you mean.
yeah, my
Okay.
first proper, like, this is a rated R horror movie.
You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna mention mine. I just gotta
Okay.
remember what it's called.
So I was in sixth grade, and I mean, that movie, of course, deals with the boogeyman. And I'm not going to give my full blown story, but I was always brought up as the boogeyman was this, embodiment of evil, right?
Okay.
And that it was also really not human
No, he's basically a shadow figure
or shape,
or a shape.
which is why he is commonly referred to as the boogeyman
Yeah.
because, he's the embodiment of evil
He's a body of fear too.
and feel. I mean, because people feel the Miles house
Yeah.
in the opening scenes. You can kind of see Tommy talking to Lloyd like, "Don't go up there. If you go up there, bad things will happen."
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's just a good detail about who Michael Miles is. He is the boogeyman. He is
Yeah, I'd
what
say he's
people.
probably the embodiment of fear, evil, and all that.
Yeah,
For that universe, it could be possible.
yeah. I mean, he is a boogeyman, and I kind of want to talk about why Michael picks Laurie Strode's. Do
Okay.
you know why he picked?
I know it has something like she looks like his sister, but I also remember from other movies that, in spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this, like, isn't like she's his brother.
In
I
the
mean,
later
she's his
movies,
sister.
in the later movies, they do say that, but for this one, it was never. They never said that. In the second one, I believe they said that.
That they're related, or
Yeah,
that
they're
because
related.
I thought it was because I I always took it as first it was because she looks like his sister. But then I in a later video, I think it was like five or something, they started mentioning I was like because I saw them out of order because I didn't care for
The numbering.
yeah. Plus they came
There
out
was like
before
six
but
different timelines for this
yeah, but
franchise.
again, it came out before we were born, so I didn't know which one exactly I was watching first.
Right. And especially when you have like one called Halloween 1978, and then
Yeah.
you have like another one called Halloween 2018. Like,
It throws you off.
yeah. So the second one is what said that they were sisters. So it kind of depends on what timeline you follow.
Yeah.
So if you follow the new timeline with the three newer ones, they're not brother and sister.
Oh, the one where it's like
The three new ones that just came
yeah,
out,
they're
in the
not
past.
related.
No.
I can watch those then.
Yeah.
I
Um,
watched one of them, but I guess I didn't take that into consideration.
yeah, because it takes place after the events of Halloween and not Halloween 2.
Ah.
Um, Again, I like this franchise. I know slightly more of the
Yeah, you know more than I do.
um but so I always took it as why he picked Laurie Strode's
Okay.
was because she came up to his house, dropped off the keys, and he kind of just saw her.
So you think he's just first one he saw?
Yeah,
That's his target.
yeah.
Possible.
Because ever since then, he just kind of followed her around.
So you think he just imprinted on her like
Yeah,
that's my target.
yeah.
Interesting.
That's kind of, when I was rewatching this last night, that's kind of how I took it.
Okay. I can see that. I can see how that might work for some people who are more of the stalkers and they just randomly choose their prey.
Yeah.
Um, so going back to which one was my like, would you say it was for
My proper.
my very first proper one? And I was very young when this one. Let me show you.
Is it one that I know? Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's one we will never talk about.
Oh, well, no, this is going on there because I got to tell my story, but it is called.
No, I'm talking about we'll never do an episode
Well, we're not gonna do an episode,
on. I thought you didn't like that one.
dude. I like it now.
Okay.
I didn't like it when I was a kid, but the movie is called Darkness Falls.
Oh.
Darkness Falls.
No, what's the one that you said that you never wanted to do an episode on? Human Centipede?
It was Human Centipede or it was Teeth.
Okay, I was thinking of Teeth. That's the one I was thinking of.
I'll tell the backstory on that one, but the Darkness Falls is basically a Tooth Fairy one. But
Gotcha.
Darkness Falls, I was maybe 8, and I was at my grandparents' house up in Wisconsin, and I'm up late. My grandpa's watching TV, and he says, "Aiden, I think, walking to the kitchen to get a drink." And my grandpa says, "Do you want to sit down and watch a movie with me?" And he turns it on, and the only scene I get to see is the intro scene, and that's the only scene I've always remembered. Because here's the reason why. You see the boy, he's in a room, space themed, and it's about. I never took it as it's about a tooth fairy. I always thought that the creature was an alien, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Like the alien just broke in and killed his mom. That's literally what I thought, and then I realized later out when I was as I got older, oh, that's a spirit,
Gotcha.
and it always creeped me out when I was younger, because like I never wanted to watch that again.
So, I mean, I did have one other whole experience before that, I think. I
Okay.
don't remember. It could have been after. Um, my dad showed me the chest. Me and my friend were downstairs in our basement,
Yeah.
and he called me and my friend up, and it was a chest puzzle scene from Alien.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Okay, I don't know if I said it on the
I don't think you
podcast.
said it, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I did experience that, and of course I completely blacked that out of my memory.
Yeah.
until I actually rewatched Alien, you know, back in 2014 when Alien Isolation came out. I don't remember if that happened before Boogeyman 2 or after.
Okay.
I don't remember how old I was.
I just remember the second horror movie I ever watched, and the one I don't like is Scream. There's a reason why I don't like Scream, but
Really?
Even as a slasher and it's a horror, it does not catch my attention. I don't know why. I've given it so many chances, but it never catches my eye.
Scream?
I will admit, I do like how it is the most made fun of movie. If you ever
Oh
watch
yeah.
Screams,
Oh
I
yeah.
do love how it's made fun of and how it does that because I do like the whole "What's your favorite scary movie?" That whole bit. That's it. Everything else,
So let me tell you something that probably will shock you. Scream and Alien are the two franchises I've seen every single movie of.
to be honest, that doesn't surprise me.
Really?
That doesn't.
Okay.
But for me, I never got into Scream. I don't know why. I've given it like so many chances. I've watched them, and it's like I can only make it like 5 minutes, and it's like, or not 5 minutes, like maybe 15, and it's like this is
Okay, well, I
just.
guess we'll never talk about that movie then.
Well, we can talk about it. It's just for me, it's just like this is just basic bullshit.
Maybe that's kind of one of the reasons I like it.
Probably why. But
Yeah, Scream and Alien are the two franchises I've seen every single movie of. And I guess technically Terrifier now because I did have to watch the
yeah, I
first
was gonna
two.
say you watched the but the reason going back to your thing, the teeth. The reason why I don't like teeth is because I was in high school. I started getting into horror movies a lot more, and my curiosity got the best of me, and I started watching like Human Centipede and Teeth and
Yes, I
Splice.
can't do that. I can't do any of those.
I couldn't do. I got to the part on Human Centipede where it was like after the surgery, and the woman's constipated and won't pretty much
I
pass
know
on.
nothing about that movie.
Okay, good.
I know nothing about that movie
I know too much of that movie.
other than
That's
it's absolutely disgusting and it's often regarded as like one of the worst horror movies.
it's not one of the worst. It's the most disturbing.
Okay, maybe that's it.
It's
Maybe
more disturbing than Terrifier. I'll tell you that.
yeah, no, nope, nope. I'll
Um,
pass. I will pass.
Teeth. The reason why I just saw that and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And I watched this one right after Splice. Splice I can tolerate. Splice is nothing more than like The Fly to me.
Okay.
But Teeth, I got to the point where the girl just her thing is
Yeah, no, no,
so in case you
nope.
weren't wondering, you take your fingers, cross them over, and a woman's part.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, here's the thing, because I don't want to risk children being on this thing, so I don't want to like actually say what it is.
I know.
But like that is, and it bites off a certain other person's thing.
I can envision it. Trust me, you describing in perfect detail about a movie we're not even supposed to be talking about right now.
Come on, go back to Halloween.
Um, so after that, they go to school and meet some of her friends.
Yeah,
I
her
can't,
sex-driven friends.
I can't think of.
I can't think of their names either. All I remember is one of them likes to say totally a lot, and the other one's just likes to sleep around with her boyfriend.
I think one of them's Annie. One of them Annie.
I don't remember, dude. Dude, you watch this series more than I do. You're asking me?
Hold on, we don't even have a cast list
No,
pulled
we
up.
have been slacking on cast lists lately.
Yeah, we have. Um, so after that, we meet some of her friends. Laurie Strode's friend, which I want to talk about Laurie Strode's. Jamie Lee Curtis is.
She's a great actress.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I don't know if this was her. Was this her first role?
Mm, I want to say yes, because she did start in her like teens or early 20s.
Yeah.
I want to say it was,
Okay.
but like I've seen some of her other movies, and she does really well.
Um. Yeah, Annie was the one who
Got
tries to sleep with a boyfriend but fails.
yeah, because she gets killed in the car,
Yeah. And then
which I might have to say is the best stalker killer way to do it. Because if you look at other ones, they're somehow in your house. This one actually camped out in your car.
yeah, but that's kind of become a cliche now. I mean, back then it wasn't, but
I've seen
now,
I've seen other horror movies. There's one where it takes place at a gas station. The woman's freaking out because she's like, there's a guy. and somehow he gets in her car, and someone's trying to tell her, "There's a guy in the back of your car," and he comes up and just slits her throat. That
Okay, I was thinking of a
every
different
time I see
movie.
Halloween, that one reminds me of that scene.
Okay, I was thinking of a different movie. So after that, we go to um I mean basically it's just Halloween night at that
Yeah,
point.
it's all Halloween.
I mean, well, I mean like it's actually nighttime
Yeah.
and I mean so Michael
Mike,
really for the first like half of this movie, Michael just kind of stalks them.
well, he has to get to them first. He's got to get home first, which is okay. That's another thing that I want to bring up in this movie. I like that our state's represented in this movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you look at like other movies like Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and a few other ones that take place at that college, it's all in Illinois.
Yeah.
This is a horror movie that takes place in Illinois. You know how happy I was to find that out?
But I don't think there's an actual place called Hagenfield.
No, but it does take
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And I
Which
like,
we want to go to the house at some point too.
yes, I would like to.
Yes. Probably after your wedding though.
Yeah, probably after.
Um, so that's my train of thought. So Michael stalks them throughout the first half of this movie.
You're not gonna talk about him killing the truck driver?
I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm just talking about him stalking the girls.
How do you think he gets to the town?
Well, yeah, but that is revealed later in a movie.
Okay.
And I'm talk about that more.
I thought that was before.
I don't know. Um, so he stalks them, and does that kind of like it always reminds me of the Homo Simpson meme
The one
of
in the
him.
bush.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
that's after the truck scene, by the way.
yeah, I well after he kills the
The truck
truck
driver.
driver. I don't know
Yes.
if it's revealed to us that he killed him.
No, it's revealed after, but that is
Yeah,
after because he has the jumpsuit. But yes, that scene of him just disappearing. So if you remember, I think it's either the last video or the one. No, it's the one. It's the Terrifier one. How I told you I did that clown bit.
yeah.
How do you think I got my inspiration
Of
of course you did.
course
Hiding in the bush?
of course you did. Um,
It's from this movie.
so there's that part, which kind of always makes me laugh just because of the Homo Simpson meme.
That's fire.
Um, and then it turns into Halloween night, and you can still kind of see him in the background. And Annie and Lily are talking to Annie's dad, who's a sheriff, and you can kind of see his car in the background stalking them. So we catch up with Loomis, and he sees the truck at the road after he leaves the mental institution,
Yes.
and he never sees the body.
No, he doesn't see the body. He just sees the clothes.
We're the only one who sees the body.
You mean the cast is the only one. Not the cast, the audience.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we're the only ones who see it, the
Yeah.
audience. So he catches up with the sheriff in Hagenfield, and he just basically I really like Loomis' scenes. He says, Michael is the embodiment of evil. He's
He's trying to warn everybody, but nobody listens to him.
yeah, like listen to me.
He's basically Billy from Gremlins. Like he's trying to warn Billy's
Yeah,
trying to warn everybody that there's gremlins and nobody listens.
yeah, and oh, that's another one I need to add on the list.
Yeah, Gremlins.
Okay, well, I'll add that one. Um,
That's one franchise I love too, and you know
okay,
for a fact I love that.
yeah, no, I love that one too. That was another one that I don't consider proper horror.
Mm,
Not
Not the
it's not.
second one. The first one I can see being somewhat horror in
Well,
that
yes,
timeline.
but I'm talking about like proper horror movies, like that have blood, guts, and all
There's
that.
blood in this. What are you talking about?
Not
He gets shot with an arrow. He's
compared
got fucking saw blades being thrown at him.
compared to other franchises like Michael Myers.
Okay, fine. You know what I need to do? I should go get the gremlins from my office and just bring them here, including the one that you bought me.
I'm saying you need to do the full. We'll talk about that actually
Yeah, we'll
next
talk about that
time.
later.
So, I mean, Loomis is just trying to run the sheriff throughout the movie. Like, listen to me. There's nothing behind his eyes. He is evil. Like the person at Michael Myers is gone.
He basically it's like he thinks he's pulling a prank or pulling a leg, but no, he's like really trying to warn them.
Well, not only that, but I think he also thinks like that um he's just saying all of this and he doesn't think like Michael would actually come to Hagenfield and kill people.
Hmm.
Like, because a normal like well, I don't want to say normal insane person, but like a normal person who escapes probably would go in hiding for a while,
Yeah,
not go off on a killing spree.
correct. Unless you're just like, I haven't killed somebody in so long, I need to feel the joy of
But
doing
that's
it.
basically what Michael
Yeah,
is. So Amy goes to what's her name? Linda? Lydia? Lindy? Lindsay.
yeah,
And Lloyd goes to Tommy's house, and they're like right across the street from each other. So Tommy sees someone standing outside the Lindsay's house and says, "That's the boogeyman."
yeah.
And Lloyd's like, "No, there's no such thing as a boogeyman." That's something I want to bring up later, inside the movie. So Annie gets a call from her boyfriend and says, "Hey, can you watch Lindsay?" Oh,
No,
hey,
hey, my parents are out of town.
yeah, my parents are out of town. Can you come over and pick me up? And so she drops Lindsay off at Tommy's
Yeah.
house and goes back to the other house, Lindsay's house, and Michael is there. And
No, she goes back to her car. She gets killed in her car.
well, she tries to open up the call, which okay,
No, she
actually,
gets in the car. She's in it.
no, I want to talk about the scene. So she tries to open up the call and it's locked.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, I need to go get the keys." She goes back into the house and gets the keys. Right?
Yeah,
Do you remember any of this?
a little bit.
Okay.
I don't remember her going back in and getting the keys, but I just remember her getting the car.
So she goes back to the call and doesn't unlock it. Opens up the door and this time it opens. But she never installed it because back then they didn't have the beeple things. I just don't think they
Not the
did.
lock button.
Yeah.
No, back then you
Yeah.
always had a key or card to
Yeah.
unlock it.
Yeah. But she never did that.
Because my very first car was that way.
Yeah. And she kind of gets into the car and looks at it and like almost starts to question it. But that's when Michael goes behind her and strangles her.
Okay, I can see.
And she starts beeping the horn, trying to get someone's attention, but no one can hear it because it's inside the garage.
Yeah.
And then
But you think she noticed that somebody might be in, or there's a reason why her car is all fogged up too?
she did question that. Yeah, she
She
did
did
question it.
question it,
Yeah.
but you'd think like, I don't know, look around.
Yeah.
I see now, granted, I wouldn't have looked around first. I would have like made sure like I didn't leave something in the car.
Yeah.
Then I would have looked in the back seat
Yeah.
because I have left something in my car that has fogged up.
But she also doesn't have like a lot of time to really
No, she does
react.
not. She did not. She had
I
maybe
mean,
like 3 seconds.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we really don't know like what she would have done if he gave her more time.
Yeah,
So then I think it's Linda. Who's the
the
other
other one.
friend?
I think it might be Linda. It's a blonde girl. That's all I remember.
That one?
Yes, I want to say that one.
Okay. Um, so she comes over and which I really want to question this. So her and her boyfriend go to Lindsay's house. Mind you, there's a kid there, and they're full blown we want to have sex.
No, the kids over at Laura's house.
But they don't know that.
They don't know.
They're full blown let's have sex. So they start making out on the couch.
Yeah,
And then they call Lily and be like, "Hey, where is everyone?" And Lily says, "You have the house to yourself." And they go to the parents' room. Why are you in some stranger's house having sex in the parents' bed?
it must be a kink.
I guess so.
Some people have kinks.
So then Michael, so
Back then you could do it anywhere basically.
really,
I mean, look at Friday the 13th. They did it in a fucking hammock. That's not
that's more realistic than going to some stranger's house and having sex in the parents' bed.
okay. How about this? Fine. Screwing in public in front of a whole bunch of kids on the front porch of a cabin in the back in the backflash scenes.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Of course you don't.
Um, so after that, who's the guy's name? Oh, who's the guy's name? Bob? Yeah, Bob goes and gets some beer for them, and that's when Michael all of a sudden pops up, pushes him against the wall, takes the knife, or pushes him up, takes a knife, and stabs him. Right?
Yes.
So
Sorry, I was reading a text that Kaylee sent me.
he put on a sheet, uh, just like a white sheet, and puts on Bob's glasses and goes back to Linda, if I can say her name, and is just kind of doing a head tilt at her in the ghost sheet with his glasses, and she's getting off on it. I mean,
Oh yeah, that scene. Okay, now it all pieces together.
she's getting off on it. Wouldn't you agree?
A little bit because she sits up and she just drops the covers.
Yeah. And then she gets up and calls Louis again, and that's when he strangles her with the telephone cord.
Which is also weird because I get that he's disguising himself, but you'd think maybe wasn't he naked? Yeah, he was naked when he or someone undressed when he went down, right?
Who?
The guy that Michael killed to get the glasses. Because I don't think he was wearing pants, was he?
I don't remember. You only see his top half, and you're
Yeah,
showing
but you would
his.
think that if you see the sheet, the glasses, he's wearing the suit and boots. He's not barefoot.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's a
think
good
that
point.
might throw you off like, you're not my boyfriend.
I mean, she has her mind's on one thing only, and that's beer and sex. Well, two things actually. So, um, Louis then goes over to the house and does the whole final girl circuit. I've seen all the bodies.
Okay.
You're just saying, okay. I didn't know if you had anything to.
No, personal text coming through that I'm dealing with in the back of my head. Um, I will admit the whole coming back and seeing the visor where the tombstone on the bed was a nice touch.
Yes. Yes, Judith
Which was
Miles.
also another thing of like, how the heck did this man literally just carry that big heavy ass rock with
Right.
him? Like, literally took it out of the ground and then just take it there.
Right.
Because that's
No clue.
another thing they mentioned later is that earlier is that he went to the gravesite and
Yeah.
stole her.
Because that's how Loomis, I forgot to mention that, that's how Loomis knew that he was Hill, for sure.
Yeah.
Because he says underneath his breath, he's Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael catches and she runs back over to Tommy's house and stabs him with like a sewing needle or something
What? Where in the eye?
in the neck.
On the neck? Uh,
She stabs him there in the
I think
eye.
it's a knitting needle.
Knitting needle, that's
In
it.
the eye is a coat hanger.
Yeah, yeah, that's later on. So she goes upstairs to the kids and she thinks he's dead.
Yeah, she does think he's dead.
And they're like, is the boogeyman gone? And he's like, yeah, he's dead.
But you
And
can't kill the Pokemon.
yeah, and then Tommy says you can't kill the boogeyman as he like comes up the stairs and is just right behind her. And she tells them to lock the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hides in the closet and she does a nice little clever thing. She opens up the back balcony door to make it look like she jumped out the window.
Yeah, that is a nice.
And then hides in the closet, but he sees through
But
that.
here's another thing. She made so much noise during that scene.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have already heard you like, okay, this bitch is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice,
It was a nice touch, yes, but
it was small, but she was
if you
making
were
too much
more,
noise in the
yeah, if you
closet.
were more quiet,
But I mean, this is also her first outing too.
yeah,
I mean, later Louis Strode probably would have done that.
yeah,
Actually, later in the new sequels to it,
yeah.
Louis Strode probably would have been hit to begin with. She probably would have just tried shooting him.
Well, yeah, more modern,
Yeah.
because like everybody's gonna have a gun. Back then, no, you have to find something to defend yourself with.
So after that, she stabs him, like you said, with a coat handle and pushes him out of the closet. No, drops he drops the knife and she stabs him with the knife and he falls out of the closet and she goes out.
Mm,
And she tells the kids to run to a neighbor's house and call 911.
yeah,
And that's when Loomis is out on the street and hears all the commotion and goes into the
yeah, because he
house.
sees the kids running.
Yeah, he hears all the commotion from the kids, goes into the house, and as Michael like does the whole get up thing,
Yeah,
which
his you,
is
which is not only him. Jason does that too, but
yes, but Michael started.
Michael started the whole lay down, sit up without even using
Yeah,
your arms, which I have to admit is very impressive. But I think they had something like hold his legs up for him to be able to do that.
gotcha.
Unless you have really good, like center body muscles, like
Which the actor who was playing Michael at that time probably could have practiced.
could have practiced. Like that's impressive.
So he sits up and starts attacking Lori again, and Loomis comes in and shoots him.
Like 5 times.
Yeah,
Like he empties the chamber on him.
yeah. And Lori says, was that the boogeyman or something like that?
And yes, it was.
And yeah, Loomis says, yes, I believe it was.
But
So
doesn't he look out the window and like Michael's gone?
yeah, so then he goes to the window and sees Michael's body. Well, first he goes to the window, sees Michael's body,
Comes back
comes
and
back, talks to Lori, and then goes back and the body's gone. And then the theme music starts to play.
which is very iconic in some cases for certain horrors. Because for Jason that doesn't happen. But I like how they tie that in with
Yeah.
some people.
I mean,
Like
anytime,
ones like the main ones like that can live. Like Chuck. Like if you look at Chucky. If you cut Chucky's head off, he's still alive.
yeah. Um, and I mean, that's something I do like about this movie. Anytime like Michael's kind of like in the background, the music will kind of pick up.
Here's another thing. We need to Chucky. How have we
Yes.
not added Chucky to the list?
I don't know. There's a lot of things recently actually in
Yeah.
this. Um, so like you kind of see him in the background, and the music will kind of be there, signaling that like, hey, Michael's on screen right
Hmm.
now in the beginning, which is another nice little touch to it. So, what are your final thoughts? You had some stories you want to share.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember them exactly. I forgot what we were talking about, to be honest, at the beginning of like so I can recap the end.
I don't remember.
That was a violent one.
That was you could.
I am good. That hurt though. Yeah, the now that I remember, the haunted house.
Oh
The
yes,
haunted
yes.
woods. Okay, so what were we talking about? The reason why for that one. Oh, so the stalkers for certain slashers. I'd say you have to like be really good at that. Now, granted, the haunted house that we went to, there were some of the cases, and your favorite part was there.
Of course it was.
It's still there, and I loved it. But we didn't have the guy because when you walked in, he's like right there at the
Mm,
very beginning. He's like, "You guys already saw me. I'm not gonna just jump out."
man.
But we did hear him scare the couple behind us, which was funny. Um, but the very first scare, I'd say, had to be the best one. And I know we'll talk about other stuff, but I just want to compare like if you're gonna be a slasher or for a haunted house or in real life, just saying. I think the quiet ones are always like the best creepy ones.
Oh yeah. I mean that's why I really liked that one because he was really quiet in the beginning.
Yeah,
And then he started hitting the side and it just, ramped up the noise.
which is why I like Jason and Michael is because they're more the quiet types.
Yeah.
Out of all the other slasher movies that you see, they're the more ones who are basically quiet. They're more sneaky. They're the ones that get around quicker.
Yeah. I
And then
mean
the other,
Michael basically teleports.
so does Jason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I will admit, I know we talked about slasher, and I want to mention this before. I do like slashers, and here's the reason why. Because they're weapon choice.
Knives?
Knives, blades. Because you know I like to collect knives.
Yes,
Because
yes.
here's another thing. If you ever watch some of the other ones, some people actually point this out. It's better to use some people who use knives or blades in some sort. They use their kills as more personal.
Yeah.
And if you look at Terrifier, Art uses a gun. He's like, I'm just tired of this. Bang. But if you use a knife, it's more personal. It's like more close. So I'm wondering if that has a key point in some of these slasher movies.
But for me?
No, for like Michael,
Oh, okay.
if that's the reason why he has a knife, it's because he's using it because it's more personal. It's more of a personal kill.
I mean, and I think we said this at the beginning, like, he always does the head tilting, like almost like he's admiring his work.
Yeah,
Like, he's proud of himself.
exactly. Which is why I think he uses a knife instead. It's
It could
because
be.
that's his weapon choice is more personal
It could be.
because you're more close. And I think that's the same with Jason, Scream, Chucky, in those cases.
Yeah.
But if you look at Leatherface uses the chainsaw, so.
Yeah.
But he does use a butcher knife. He does use that one time. I mean, a
See,
few
that's
times.
another franchise I've seen bits and pieces of Texas Chainsaw, but I haven't seen like the entire thing.
It's a little psychological, so you might like it.
I mean, it's something I just need to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the first few,
The last one was not bad. The last one's actually pretty good.
but the 2022 one.
Yeah, that one was.
I thought I heard bad things about that one.
I kind of liked it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I heard it
it
was
was a little watered down, but I liked it.
Well, I also heard like it was too modern. Like they were trying to put too many stereotypes inside it.
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
A little bit, yes.
Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we want to talk about, just Halloween in general.
Oh, we'll definitely do more Halloween, possibly. I say we do one for the reunions. For the anniversary, sorry. For the anniversary.
Well, not only that, but I also want to like the next one that we do for Halloween franchise. I want to do like your favorite one, my favorite one.
Yeah, we can do that.
But we also need to have more time because we're also like completely out of time
Yeah,
for
we are out of time for this one.
um
But I say for next year,
yeah.
let's do it on the
Yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Because this one's gonna come out. This one's coming out. It's gonna be Halloween.
Yeah. So coming up, the next one's gonna be your favorite. We're finally doing it.
Yes,
Nightmare Before Christmas. That'll be the next
dude.
one.
Before we end this real quick, I want to tell you something. Last night on our way back, Zach was playing the intro song to it.
This is Halloween.
I literally sang the whole thing in the back seat, and
Of course
everybody
we
was
did.
looking at me and was like, "I love this movie way too much." And you're like, "We noticed." I
Um,
can quote that movie back,
oh dude,
like front to back.
you're going to love the Christmas present I got you.
Oh boy.
You're going to love the Christmas present I got you.
If you ever see people that are big Night for Christmas fans that dress up like with Jack Skellington or Sally on their shirts, or just have anything related to that movie, I'm one of those people.
You're gonna love the
I even
Christmas
though I
present I got you then. Like I'm half tempted to give it to you now.
don't give it to me now, but Kaylee has told me that she's giving you Christmas present ideas. She has mentioned that.
Oh, I told her why I
Oh, you
have you and
told
Kelly.
her.
Yeah, I told her why I
Okay,
got
I
you.
thought you asked her.
I told her like, hey, I got because I knew if she saw it, she would probably end up buying it. So I was like, hey, I got this for him.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not. I'm not. But I mean, it clearly has something to do with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Do we want to announce what we're going to be doing later before we end this one, or we want to save that for the next one?
I really hope after Nightmare Before Christmas we can do Amnesia.
I'm not talking about that. I'm
Oh.
talking about this.
Oh no, we'll save that. We'll
Okay,
save that
we'll
when we have
save
more
that.
time. Alright. Anyway, this is the Graveyard Shift for Two Idiots Talk Call. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.